Well, what's up? You know those times as a kid that you used to love looking at fire trucks? Maybe that was just me. Well, crazily enough, one has come up for sale and it's unbelievably cheap. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go find out. Let me just preface this by saying I have nowhere to put something like this where I'd purchase it, but it's about an hour drive and I absolutely couldn't resist the chance to go check this thing out. So I'll film it when we get there. Okay. Sorry about the road noise. We're obviously right next to a busy highway. So this is actually a few weeks after the first video of driving up to see this thing. Turned out that there was a bit of a location error by the owner and I couldn't find it before it got dark last time. So we're back today and this is her. According to the description, this is a 92 Pierce Arrow fire truck, and I don't know how it's coming out on video, but in person she looks pretty rough. It's like someone's stolen the siren off the front center there, and she is beyond weathered. Grass is obviously about 3 or 4 feet tall. It's sitting in. But I don't know. He's asking next to nothing for this thing. And even though I have nowhere to put it and absolutely zero need for it, there is a part of me that wants this thing. I want to save it. It's I think it's been languishing here for about 2 years. And I don't know much about it, and neither does the previous owner. The story he gave me was that he purchased this a few years ago to park outside of I think it was a Thai food restaurant as some sort of an attractant for customers, and the restaurant never worked out. So he is not positive when this last ran, but it sounds like it's been at least 2 years. Of course, the batteries are completely dead. But I've done kind of a general look over. It's, like I say, the poor thing is just absolutely filthy. Mold on the door panels. The interior, I think it would clean up. Bed liner's falling off. This being my first time in one of these, I'm not sure what to expect. It's pretty basic in here. It's like you could almost just pressure wash this whole thing out. But still really cool. It's showing, let's see if I can get that to come into view. Showing about 85, 557 on the odometer. Get that to come in. Looks like we got about 25, 28, so over 2,500 hours on the engine. That to me sounds like a good many. It's an old Detroit diesel, so I'm sure they live practically forever. But it is absolutely filthy in here, and having that opening to the exterior hasn't helped things any. Tires are ancient. But still, the kid in me absolutely loves this thing. Control panel for the pump. And it looks like the truck's missing a good bit of gear across the top, obviously. It does have a hose, which is completely dry rotted, cracked. Obviously no ladders or anything. It's missing pretty much all the equipment. And it's just sitting out here in this field. Another guy wants to get rid of it. I really feel like that the paint, I don't know how it comes out on camera. In person, it's extremely oxidized. I mean, it's almost pink. I feel like that paint can be brought back. I don't see where it's actually missing anywhere, but it is definitely oxidized from years of sun. But all the aluminum is still in good shape. All the compartments, I've been through many of them at this point. They all, you can just tell the way these things are built, extremely heavy duty. They're all very solid. They don't squeak. The struts that hold the doors up still work. Smooth operation with the latches. Let me grab another one here. This thing's absolutely loaded with compartments. But I mean, the fact those struts still work to me is amazing. They've obviously been replaced at some point. All compartments are lit. Like I said, there is no battery power. Can't imagine what tires this thing would cost. But tires are definitely dry rotted. I'm gonna try to crawl up under this thing. Grab a flashlight. Be right back. Alright, so we're kind of underneath now. I'm trying to get some light on everything. I assume this is an Alice Trans. And what's amazing about this thing underneath is there is no rust anywhere. Not that we're in a rust area, I mean we're in the south, but I mean the age of this truck, and it's really, I don't even see any heavy leaks. Come up under here a little further. Sorry if the light's poor. Kind of rolling around here in the tall grass, but be able to work better without the flashlight. But the condition of everything, I mean, the oil pan's not even wet. Unbelievable. See that absolutely massive rear differential back there. Wow. What a cool piece of equipment. There's some overspray, so I don't know if that's original or if this was painted at some point. I mean, I guess that would obviously mean it was painted. I don't know what kind of a factory job these things had, but this thing to be almost 30 years old, this is pretty incredible. I have no idea if it runs. Like I say, it's been sitting. The owner can't verify that it runs. And there is zero battery power. I have nothing whipping that's strong enough to jump this thing off. Jump back up the top side here. Alright kids, so a little more information. I've kind of been snooping around here for the last few minutes. I noticed something. There is an oil change sticker. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get up here to it. Says it was last serviced, or either that's when it was serviced or when it was due back. 2019 at 90,500. So assuming this odometer works, then that's when it was due, because it's at 85,557. So that lends itself to me that this thing was running, obviously, at that point, and that's probably about the time it was parked. I noticed something else too. I got the engine cover open here. It's kind of cool. It just sits in its own kind of exposed doghouse. And I'm sure there's people that know these trucks really well that think this is nothing, but I think it's kind of neat. It's got kind of a clamshell on each side that pops up. I've got both sides propped open, and I noticed this. First of all, the old Detroit looks pretty clean. And look at the size of that turbo. But I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to get, I don't have luck getting down there. But that sticker shows this as a remanufactured engine. Of course, no idea when that was done. But and I also don't know if the hour meter was changed at the same time or reset, that this engine was remanufactured. But I'm willing to bet that it wasn't, and that this engine has a lot less hours than that on it. I mean, the paint on it, besides right here on the valve cover, is still in really good shape. The belts look relatively new. Alternator's been changed at some point. Overall, things are in really good mechanical shape, and that would also explain to me why this thing isn't really leaking. And I would imagine, knowing old diesels the way I do, now I'm used to smaller ones like in Mercedes. I mean, they leak. If they're not leaking, that's when you get cause for concern. You should check the oil level. That's all they do. But this thing does not have a drop under it, and I don't even see any obvious coolant leaks. So, besides the negatives of this truck are, like I said, missing lots of equipment. I mean, effectively all the equipment, which doesn't matter all that much to me, except for, you know, the idea of originality. The paint is extremely faded and oxidized. This is a shot of the roof. The light bar is pretty well oxidized as well. But overall, the truck is rust-free. It looks to be mechanically sound. And it looks very well worth fixing. That's, again, that's my opinion, but you know, unless there is a transmission issue, which obviously I don't know, my hope would be to get this thing started before I actually purchase it. But at that price, I don't think, you know, there's going to be a whole lot of time there to come out here and piddle with this thing. I will talk to the owner about that, but looks like, see on the door there, this is from Barrow County, which is a county in Georgia, so this is where it's spent its entire life, I'm sure. Windshield has got a lot of mold all over it, but I don't know. What a cool old truck. Alright guys, well, I'll stop there for now. I'm going to discuss with the owner and kind of see what I decide. And I will update on what happens with this thing. Otherwise, I really appreciate you guys watching.